Hi, and welcome to Learning Life. Thank you so much for joining us today. Now, a few weeks ago, we looked at why it's important to know your child's learning style, and today I want to look at one of those, the visual learning style. If your child is a visual learner, then they're going to be learned best by seeing. And this is not just the written word, this is also pictures, the visual images. We can still learn by hearing. That we're not saying that that is completely cut out, but our primary focus as a visual learner is by what we see. I'm a visual learner, and once I really understood that, that helped me in what I needed to do to succeed in life, those sorts of things. Now, yes, I was a child that would often get distracted quite easily if I got bored, and so I'd be finding something to look at. And I still do that. I like to look at things. I love to people watch, those sorts of things, because I'm a visual learner and I will remember what I have seen. As a visual learner, usually your child is going to be neat and tidy, though I'm sure many parents are going to debate that when it comes to children. But they do like the neatness and the order and the structure. And maybe you've seen them close their eyes when they're visualizing something. Maybe when they're spelling a word, they're writing it out with their finger. These are all little key things of a visual learner because we're having to see what it is. Often it's great to be drawing what you are learning, because that is going to give you a visual image. It's to go with the word or the text that you are learning. What are you actually seeing? How do we make those connections? For me, it makes it so much easier if I see something that I'm going to remember it, especially for me with foreign languages, like my husband being German and I'm trying to learn German. I do so much better when I have actually seen the words. It helps to solidify and to remember. I can hear the word several times and I might not get it, but when I've seen how it's written, what it looks like, then I remember it. Many visual learners, especially as young children, really like picture books because they are connecting the written word with what is the image there. If they're going to be listening to stories, they really want to hear ones that are very rich in that imagery, that they can really sit there and start visualizing the story, visualizing the action. And that is something to realize, yes, with your visual learner, it's here in the head as well. So, often those are the ones that if they get bored, they're going to get distracted. And so they'll find something to look at. I know I was like that. The number of times I got called out for that I was off looking at something going on out the window. Now I was still listening, but I needed something to see that was going to help me to remember. Here are some things that you can use to help your visual learner to learn better. One thing is to sit near the front of the classroom so that they can see the teacher or the board more clearly. And don't forget to have their eyesight tested quite regularly, because especially if something's going to be out of focus, it's really not going to help with learning. Use flashcards and note cards and draw the key concepts down for them. Have a list, especially for younger children with chores. Those picture boards are great for helping them to know what they need to be doing, to be putting things in order. Avoid distractions during study times for your older students. You're not going to want them to have like windows or people walking by or anything that could just draw their attention to that. They are going to want to have some good key written notes and their textbooks, of course, to draw from it. That written word is going to be really important in their study time. And again, they should be color coding. Having your children draw pictures and then really explain what it is that they are seeing in that is going to help to see whether they're really learning the key concepts. Drawing is great, especially for younger children, but also for older ones, especially in learning vocabulary. Having a picture to go along with the word is going to be so much better with their visual recognition. Now, just remember with your children, your visual learners, they are still going to be learning by hearing, but their primary focus is going to be that visual aspect. That's going to be the primary, with our auditory being the secondary. And so maybe you're a visual learner, and so you have a better understanding of your child, and maybe you're not, and that's okay. This is something that you're going to learn together, but when you understand how they operate, then that's going to help you in helping them and maybe making things smoother in their successful journey through school. time for a review, and today I want to look at a book series, The City of Ember books by Jeanne DuPrau. At least that's so I hope she pronounces her name. That's what I see when I see it written. A great set of 4 books that tell the story of Lena and Dune. In City of Ember, we start with the lights are going out, and what does that mean for their community and for their families? And so they go in search of answers to find why the light is going out and what they could be doing about it. Great adventure, but also a great book of identity as these 2 children just work out who they are and that they don't just have to settle for the status quo. And through that, they become heroes for their community. It's followed by The People of Sparks. I won't give too much away for the beginning of that. But again, it continues the story. And then The Prophet of Yonwood, that sort of takes a bit of a sort of step back. This is actually set before the City of Ember to explain what happened and why, and really sets up the City of Ember. Some people say perhaps you could leave this book out of the series, but I do enjoy it. And then there's The Diamond of Darkhold that finishes off. Great ending. Do love this. I think these books are great, like for reading, especially for the 10 to 12-year-old age group. Maybe if your child is a strong reader, then for younger, that is fine. Great for read alouds, great for family time. But they are fantastic books. The City of Ember books by Jeanne DuPrau. I do recommend them, both for boys and for girls, young and for old. So the question this week is from Christina, and she asks, what are the differences in the school systems around the world? Great question, Christina. And actually, it's one that I think is going to make a great vlog topic where we can go into it in detail. But just to answer quickly, I think the key areas that we look at in the differences are the age that the children start. So often in Europe, it's around 6 to 7 that formal education is started, compared to like 5, the age of 5 in like America, England, Australia. Another part is the number of hours that are spent in school. I love that Europe, for elementary, it's mornings only, but other countries have more recess and lunchtime to play, which I think is great. And of course, we're looking at what are the key components of a curriculum. Different countries, of course, have different foci on what should be the core curriculum. You really have a lot of the same in your language, in your mathematics, your science, and your social studies, but what else is incorporated into the curriculum? We're going to look at this further in another vlog topic later, but I hope that answers you for right now, Christina. Thanks for watching today. I hope you've learned something from it. Please subscribe, spread the word, check out our Facebook page, give us a thumbs up, write a comment, send me a question or a vlog topic that you would like to have covered, and we will see you next week.